Okay. Hello and welcome to Bryan Lomax Movie Talk. I think we're good to go. If I get anyone in the chat, feel free to ask me a question. So this is a Q&A to celebrate 3,000 subscribers. Yay, Cody, Brian! Right, this is a bar ache, I gotta say, an absolute bar ache. So I'm using OBS first time because obviously YouTube have gotten rid of Google Hangouts, or Google have gotten rid of Google Hangouts, whatever. It's needlessly complicated, it must be said. So Q&A time. Ask me any questions. Until I get some questions, I think I will just tell you what I thought about the new Tarantino film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I actually really like it. It's grown on me. I've only seen it once, so it's not like it's not one of them kind of growers where it took ages, but it stuck with me in the same way that Inglourious Basterds did. And I think Tarantino does a very similar thing that he does with Inglourious Basterds. I will go into spoilers now, so if you don't want me to spoil Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, then maybe stop listening. But I think the degree to which you're going to get something out of this film is how well you know the original story, because obviously what Tarantino does is, as I say, what he did with Inglourious Basterds, which is he rewrites history. And some people might say, well, where's the value in that? What's the point in that? And I personally think there's a great deal of value in it because of what he achieves with the movie. For me personally, because I know the story of Sharon Tate, I know the story of Charles Manson, there was a build-up all the way through the film. Hello, Lou. Hello, Oscar. There's a build-up all the way through the film to the impending doom, I guess, of Sharon Tate. And it really makes you feel, well, it made me feel nervous about what they were going to do, especially where at one point we see that she's pregnant. And again, like I say, I know the real story. I know what happened there. And so, what Tarantino does is he preys, I guess, on your expectations, given that it's based on real life events. So you expect to see something brutally horrific at the end of the film, which you're dreading throughout the whole film. But then when it comes, you do see something brutally horrific, but it's not the thing you were anticipating. And it's actually something else entirely, which kind of makes you cheer in a really twisted way. And I think the film works because of that as a commentary on violence, on movie violence, on the way we project ourselves into those committing acts of violence in movies. And I just think what Tarantino does with it, again, and I think this hinges on how well you know the true story versus the fictional one. Because I think if you just come to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood not knowing anything really about Sharon Tate, not knowing anything about the Roman Polanski, Charles Manson, and all that kind of stuff, I think a lot of scenes in this, you'll come away from it thinking, what the hell was that all about? Why was that even there? Basically all the stuff with Sharon Tate. Any scene with Sharon Tate, you could practically take out, and you'd think, why was that even there? But knowing the story, knowing where you think it was going to go, really plays into those ideas about on-screen violence and who we root for and what we find acceptable once that violence takes on a whole new shift. Like I say, the people we expect to be the killers in this, the sadistic, brutal maniacs, are the ones who get the comeuppance. It's kind of like fantasy wish fulfillment. And yeah, your whole attitude as an audience member changes as a result of that. So for me, that's why it hit pretty hard. It kind of grew on me over a few days after I watched it. And now I think I would say I do love it. And yeah, props to Tarantino as usual. So let's have a look. Let's see who we've got. So Cody, congrats on the 3,000. Hope once we get our new stuff rolling, we can keep that number rolling fast. Yeah, me too, mate. Big thanks to Cody actually for really getting me past that 3,000 hump. I was kind of stuck on the 2,900 and an odd mark, and it was just like, what on earth? Why wasn't he put a share out there and it soon went up? So thank you, Cody, for that. He also says, as much as you love The Dark Knight, what are your expectations for Joker? The early Oscar chatter and R rating considered, do you think this can top Ledger with no Batman to go against? I think this is a completely different beast. It's not a Batman film. You know, Batman ain't going to be in it, as you say. So I think you have to approach it. I mean, if you if you know comic books, you know, I think look at it as an Elseworlds kind of title. You know, they have this brand called Elseworlds where they just go off and do stories that aren't really in regular continuity, but it just gives them a chance to do something different with well-known characters. So they'll have elements of the character that we know and love and expect, but they'll place it kind of in a different setting or a different world or whatever. I think that's kind of what I'm expecting, really. But with that Scorsese flavour, that kind of 80s Scorsese flavour, I think, oh man, I think it could be really, really something special. I do. I'm not too sure about the director at this point. I'm not saying he's a bad director, but I think he's just mostly done comedies so far. But that being said, you know, David Gordon Green has transitioned pretty well into serious stuff. So yeah, I like the look of it. The trailer really fires me up. I don't think it's going to be as good as Ledger, to be honest. I just think that's such a hard act to follow. Joaquin Phoenix is certainly the kind of actor that could do it if there was anyone, but even so, yeah, that Ledger performance, man. Tom Matthews, huge congrats on 3,000. Thanks, mate. Just try and sum up how hard it was doing your TCM reviews. It seemed to be quite a slog. Able to compare it to anything else? Needles in the testicles probably comes pretty close. Quite frankly, the TCM ordeal lasts longer than that, I think. So maybe that was worse. I don't know. Yeah, it was not a good time for me, put it that way. And I've still got a ranking video to come, so that should be fun. Low Carb Monster, sup Brian, congrats on 3K, man. Thank you. Lou, best film you've seen this year? For me personally, I hate to be the popularist guy, but Avengers, you know, it was the culmination of many years of work, and it paid off big time. There's a few others that I've really, really enjoyed. Being a sci-fi fan, I'm particularly fond of Alita. I thought they did a really great job with that, and it just, yeah, it's a shame that we're probably not going to get a sequel to it, unfortunately. What can you do? Yeah, there's been a few others. As far as dramas go, Fighting with My Family, that was a really good one. That really surprised me. I found that quite emotional, actually. So yeah, there you go. Let's have a look. Who we got? Danny Noble. Wow, 3K subscribers, going in the right direction, Brian. Thank you, Danny. Yeah, hopefully it keeps on going onwards and upwards, mate. Oscar McGee, congrats on 3K subs, which I'm 10% jealous because I only have 17 subs. Just keep working at it, mate. Keep working at it. It's one of them things. Like when I put my first few videos out, I look at them. I've left them up on my channel just because I think it's handy to see the growth. I think it's good to let people see how you've grown. But I look at those first videos that I put up and I cringe. Oh, man alive, seriously. Not good. So it just you just do it. You just keep on doing it, and you examine yourself, and you start to change things. You start to get more relaxed in front of the camera, and it does become easier. So that's all I can say. And then subs start to slowly increase. The views start to slowly increase. It's very rare that people suddenly just go boom and do like a Sean Chandler, where it's like they take off. But I think in order to do that, you've got to have the personality and you've got to have the looks. And yeah, Sean Chandler clearly has both. I'm unfortunately blessed with this face, so I've got to get by on personality. And if that, if I have a personality you don't like, I'm pretty much screwed. So yeah, just keep cracking at it, mate. Vinny Montegna was up, man, big fan. Was up, man, big fan. Yeah, okay, thank you. That's great. Deshaun Riley, congrats, Brian. Can't believe you didn't like TCM remake. Sorry, mate. It's just the way it is. I preferred the prequel to the remake. It's just I don't like films where I get nothing from them in a sense of what they're trying to say. If I don't feel like a film is trying to say anything, then, if it's just going for that roller coaster ride, then it needs to be a roller coaster ride that I want to be on. Like, I recently watched Evil Dead. First time I'd seen that film, actually, and a review will be coming. But that's a film to me that when I think about it, I'm like, I'm not really sure it has anything to say, and I don't think it's trying to. I think it's just a roller coaster ride. But because it's so inventive, so creative, and fun, it's just that's the kind of no-brainer that I can go along with. But when it's something that's so dark and serious, really takes itself seriously, like TCM the remake did, if it ain't about something, if it's not telling me something or trying to explore certain issues, then it's got nothing for me. Nothing. So yeah, what can I say? The prequel did. It's still dark, it's still serious, it's still oppressive, but I felt like it actually was trying to say something, was trying to have a point, some kind of social commentary. Don't know what more I can say on that matter, but there you go. Luke from Razorwire Reviews, Heatwave hits the UK. Brian's holed up in his kitchen with a woolly jumper on. Yes, he is. Yeah, it was quite hot today. I did go out with just a t-shirt and a baby strapped to me, and I kind of regretted that decision because I was sweating my bollocks off. But what can I say? No, it's all right at the moment. It's cool in this kitchen, actually. It's a cold kitchen, even in summer. Cody Leach, what's a better movie, TCM remake or Psycho remake? Oh, mate. Now, I think the Psycho remake is rubbish, okay? But the only reason it's rubbish is because it does absolutely nothing new. But the blueprint that it's working off is still the blueprint of a classic film. And as they don't really change a right lot, it is still essentially the same film. yes, I don't really ever want to watch it because if I'm going to, I'd rather just watch the original film. So I'm going to have to go with Psycho, mate. Seriously. I know you're going to be like probably breaking your screen right now, but Psycho, I, I, I I've not seen it since, when did it come out? 98. So yeah, that's when I saw it. I really didn't like it at the time, but I will be watching it again fairly shortly and reviewing it. I've reviewed Psycho 1 to 3. I need to do 4 in the remake. Um, who knows? Who knows? But just going off, yeah, those feelings I've just talked about, I would have to go with Psycho. Um, Oscar McGee, Deshaun, that's his opinion. Yep, it is. I don't think Deshaun was. He wasn't criticising my opinion. He was just. Yeah, we all have opinions. Deshaun's is that he really likes it. He doesn't understand how I can't, and I get that. I have films like that. You know, if somebody turns around to me and says that, easiest example, The Dark Knight isn't a good film, I honestly, it blows my mind. I don't get how anybody could think that, but it's their opinion. So, yeah. Luke, I think the idea here is Phoenix isn't going to try and follow Ledger. He's just going to do his own thing, like Leto did. Yeah, it is that. It does always have to be. That point always has to be made that it's Ledger wasn't copying Nicholson. Leto wasn't copying Ledger. So when we talk about who's the best, it's not like they're adapting a classic piece of literature. Like, they're not adapting Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Who gave the best portrayal of Frankenstein? It's not like a specific story in which you have all the same beats and things like that. So with stuff like that, like with theatre, that kind of thing, where you do a Shakespeare play, it's going to be the same dialogue, it's going to be the same story. So you can compare performances in that regard. But this isn't like that, because Phoenix isn't in the same story. He's not in Nolan's Batman movie. He's in a completely different movie with a completely different tone, going for a completely different set of ideals. So in that regard, you can't compare it. I think ultimately you can still say which iteration you prefer, but yeah, saying that will he be better than Ledger, it can't really work like that, can it? Because he's not playing the Joker that Ledger played. Yeah, if you remade The Dark Knight and put him in that same script, then you could make that comparison, but he's not. But I get why that question's asked, because Ledger's performance is just so epically awesome. So yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go into it just wanting a great film, and hopefully that's what we'll get. But for me personally, if I was asked whose iteration of the Joker would you most prefer to see, I find it very difficult to imagine Ledger being knocked off that top spot. Yeah. Oscar, never seen both TCM remake or even the Psycho remake. You're not missing anything, to be honest, mate. You're really not. Stay metal, Ray. Congrats on 3K, my dude. Thank you, pal. I noticed you left a comment on another video of mine just earlier as well. Thank you for that. Thank you for watching and whatnot. Oscar, worst film you've seen this year? What was it called? Cold Pursuit with Liam Neeson. I didn't like that film at all. It was boring. It was really all over the place. It kind of reminded me of that. Was it a Dwayne Johnson film? Is it Faster? in the sense that you go in expecting a Liam Neeson revenge flick, and they spend 50% of the film looking at the life of this gangster dude who you just not. Well, I wasn't interested in. He wasn't a character I particularly wanted to follow. I didn't need to know his motivations. I just wanted to see Liam Neeson doing what Liam Neeson does in these kind of movies, and I felt like he kind of got sidelined until the end, and it was just, it was all over the place. I don't really know what they were trying to do with that film, but it wasn't the film that we got sold in the trailers. The trailer I found hilarious, but in the film, within the context of the film, all those moments that I laughed at in the trailer were no longer funny. So, go figure. Stay Metal Ray, very good points. Just keep going and don't lose sight of where you came from. I look back at my old videos and cringe as well. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Boyzan Igran. I'm sorry if that's your real name and I've just completely butchered it. I do apologise. Hello, sir. How you been, you old chap? I'm good. Thank you. Willie Screedia, CP. Hi, Brian. How's your week? Slow? Yes. Very slow. Very slow week. Really slow. Boyzan Igran. Again, do you know the films? Ilham's... No, I ain't going there. Cody, it can't be slow as my week. No, I don't imagine it is. I imagine you two have had a very, very slow week. CP, dude, I'm putting my finger in sockets to get myself going. No wrenches, Bri. Oh, hang on. Where have we gone? I've disappeared. Shut down there. No wrenches, Bri. W2. What do you mean wrenches? What do you mean by no wrenches? Okay. Just up, Cody. Looking forward to the new Terminator film. I'm looking forward to going to see the first two Terminator films that are playing at my cinema this coming week. So, yeah, Thursday night, that's going to be back to back. They are two of my all-time favourite movies. They're probably in my top 20 all-time movies. Bearing in mind I've seen over 3,500 films, getting on for 4,000 now. I've been disappointed one too many times now, to be honest. Rise of the Machines, Terminator 3 was appalling, absolutely appalling. Salvation was entertaining, and it's a very good Terminator film up until the last half hour when it completely blows it, totally blows it. And Genesis, no. The trailers for this so far haven't impressed me that much. What with the budget T1000 and some dodgy looking effects work. But we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Where are we? Where have we gone? Cody, you owe me a new computer screen, Brian. Sorry. And an apology to all three of my children. Stay Metal Ray, Cody and CP in the chat. Hell yeah. Tony Movie 9 Mendez, what are your thoughts on Daredevil movie and Elektra? Because I think they're very underrated. I think the Daredevil director's cut is actually pretty decent. They put a bit more story in there, a bit more character development with him and his buddy Jon Favreau, and they actually get rid of some stuff that didn't work in the theatrical cut. No, I really like the director's cut. I've not seen it in some time though, but Colin Farrell is really good as Bullseye. Elektra, I honestly can't call it a good film, but being honest, I do have to admit I have seen it quite a few times. There's something about it that still makes me put it in the player and watch. I think it's easy. It's an easy watch. It's one of those films. It's also quite short. I think it's certainly no longer than 90 minutes, I don't think. I think it's around that kind of time. Sometimes you just want to put something in that ain't going to take up too much of your time, doesn't require too much thought, and that is one of those movies. It serves quite well for that purpose. I wouldn't say it was a bad film, but it does have a bit of a made-for-TV quality about it. It feels like something that don't necessarily belong in the cinema, but was like a big budget pilot episode of a TV show or something like that. But yeah, but no, I like them. I like them. What's Cody? Gus. Hey Brian, what are your thoughts on the upcoming Black Christmas remake? Honestly, I don't have any. I love the original. Thought that was great. Watched that for the first time last Christmas. This Christmas just gone. Really enjoyed it. The remake. Oh, I will never watch that again. So I don't know. Another remake? Really? Yeah, I don't know. I have no thoughts on it, to be honest. It's got to be better than the last remake, put it that way. It wouldn't be hard. So, Tony Movie 9 Mendez, what are your thoughts? Oh, I've been there. He's asked that one. Okay. Dead Gamers 773. Other than Rob Zombie, who's your favourite director? Well, certainly not Rob Zombie, tell you that much. Christopher Nolan is my favourite director. I also really love Stanley Kubrick, Alfred Hitchcock, David Fincher, Ridley Scott, James Cameron, and what's his name? Just recently, I've been getting into... I can't remember his name, but he's only made 3 films. He did Sexy Beast, Birth, and Under the Skin. Now, Sexy Beast is a really good, solid gangster flick. I stayed away from it for the longest time just because I was sick of that whole kind of late 90s, early noughties British gangster movie thing. So yeah, I never got around to watching it. But after seeing Under the Skin, I went back and watched it because it was the same director, and it was really, really good. Under the Skin is sublime. It's like a Kubrick movie, basically. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And Birth is probably his lesser work out of the 3 films, but it's still a really solid effort. So he's on my radar now. Again, I can't remember his name right now, but he's definitely on my radar. But yeah, if I had to call it as a favourite, Christopher Nolan. Quentin Tarantino as well. You know, there's quite a few. Ang Lee's a really good favourite director of mine. So yeah, I've got the list is quite good. Directors are my thing. They're kind of what sell me on a film more than an actor. So yeah, it's the name of a director on the film is more likely to get my bum in the seat if it's someone I respect, someone I like, than even like my favourite actor or whatever. So. Where are we? Cody, Brian, what is the movie you hate the most? Not necessarily the worst film, but the one you despise the most. That would be... There's 2 actually, and it's both for the same reasons. One is Sausage Party, and the other is God's Not Dead. And I've made it. It's no secret to anyone who watches my channel that I am a Christian. You know, I believe in Jesus. I'm quite willing to talk about that. But God's Not Dead is a film that is an abomination, quite frankly. It is. It doesn't. I don't think it serves Christianity well because it's propaganda. That's the thing. It's propaganda. Propaganda in any form. Whoever it's supporting, it's still propaganda. It still feels like you're being hit over the head with somebody else's agenda, and I hate it. So yeah, God's Not Dead and Sausage Party, as I say, for the same reasons, because it was an atheist agenda and it hit you over the head with it. You know, there was nothing subtle about it. It was very preachy. It was very, yeah, I didn't like it at all for all the same reasons I didn't like God's Not Dead. But nobody ever thought Sausage Party would be compared with God's Not Dead in the same sentence, but there you go. I just did it. Deshaun Riley, Brian, have you ever seen Darkness Falls? Yes, I have. I saw it at the cinema when it first came out. I wasn't a fan back then, but there have been a few horror films like that from that period recently that I've gone back to and rewatched, and they've kind of gone up in my estimation. So who knows? Maybe I think back when that came out, I was getting to the point where I was kind of veering off horror, because I did go through this period where I was off horror movies. And also I was getting a bit sniffy. I was becoming one of those artsy-fartsy, art house kind of guys. And since then I've kind of sat somewhere in the middle now. I'm at that age where it doesn't have to be all this or nothing, or all that or nothing. I can appreciate films from all kinds of areas, for all kinds of reasons. So maybe I'll revisit Darkness Falls. Welcome to the dark side. Have you guys heard about the It Chapter 2 critics that are reviewing it early? I've not. Sorry. Tony, man, hey man, love your channel. What are you? I've already answered that. Metri, did you prefer? It's a bizarre one because when when I first watched it, I preferred the remake. But the more I thought about it, like as you know, you kind of mull films over, they stay with you and stuff. It just didn't have the same kind of impact for me as the original. I think it's got better performances, better effects, but even though those effects are better, they're not as effective. Like there's something really off kilter about the practical stuff that was done in that original film. That it doesn't look realistic, and yet for some reason there's something so off kilter about it that it's scarier. It's more effective. So overall, for me, I would say the remake. Not I would say the original is better than the remake. But like if I was going to advise someone to watch one of them, I'd probably, I don't know, if you're a horror fan, if horror is your thing, if that's your bag, then I think the original. If you're just one of those casual horror guys who goes on a Friday night, watches a lot of modern stuff, then probably the remake is more for you. I don't know, but there you go. That's my thoughts. Low Carb Monster, what movie would you want to erase from your memory to watch again for the first time? Dark Knight. Definitely The Dark Knight. It's got to be, because greatest cinema experience for me that I've ever had. The hype for it was just, everything about the hype was met. And that rarely happens, where a film is so hyped up or you're just hyped up for something and it just hits on every level. So The Dark Knight, I would love to have that experience again. Absolutely. Where are we? Where have we gone? CP's just giving me a super chat. Thank you, CP. You can make people mods in the chat equals wrenches. Oh, right. Okay. How do I do that? Oh man, I'm getting a sore neck leaning over like that. Wrenches. I don't know how to do that, mate. This is the first time I've used OBS, gone through and used OBS. So yeah, I don't know. Where are the wrenches? Where would I find them? How would I do that? Can I? Oh, so I click on you, add moderator. Is that right? Have I done? Oh, I think I've just made you a moderator, CP. I don't know what that means. I don't know what power that gives you, but go wild. Okay, where were we? Welcome to the Dark Side said, I would erase Breaking Bad just to watch it all over again. I have now bought all of Breaking Bad on DVD. I picked them up really cheap in a charity shop. And I need to get around to watching them. I know Cody loves that show. Okay, Gus, who gave the better performance of Norman Bates? Perkins, Highmore, or Vaughn? Well, it certainly weren't Vaughn. I'll tell you that much right now. It's not fair, really, to compare Perkins and Highmore, because Perkins had 4 films. Highmore had 5 seasons of television in which to really go deep with that role. So yeah, for me, I get more out of Highmore, I think. But I think that's just the nature of the beast, because it's a TV. Unless you did, and I'd love to see this, unless you did another remake now of the Psycho movie and put Freddie Highmore in it, then just in movie terms, I think you'd find it quite hard to beat what Perkins did, to be honest. The Film Addict, do you want to see Tobey Maguire return as an older Spider-Man? I'd be up for that. I would. I'd be down for that. I'd be up for seeing some kind of multiverse thing in which we get all 3 variations on Peter Parker in one movie. That would be absolutely awesome. I don't know if they can get away with doing that. I would imagine they can. It's still Sony, isn't it? But how awesome would that be? Bring Sam Raimi back and to bring all the Spider-Mans back. I don't know. Sam Raimi probably wouldn't be down with that. I don't know, but yeah, I'd be up for it. At this point, I'd be up for anything with regards to Spider-Man, because yeah, I've not been overly keen on the two the 2 Disney Marvel ones. I still like them, I do, but I actually preferred Spider-Man when he was in the hands of Sony. What can I say? Cody, wrenches are on people you deem as mods on your live streams, like we had on that live stream we used to do. Yeah. What he said. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, that's what she said. Glyn Parson, I noticed you reviewed a few animated Batman films on Letterboxd lately. Are there any plans for a video on them, either individually or as a whole? I did do a video on them, mate. They're part of a series that I've been doing with the Lawn Gnome. So if you find the YouTube channel, the Lawn Gnome, me and him do this regular series in which we go through all the DC animated movies. Like Steve is a really big DC, like his knowledge on the DC comic books and stuff like that is well past mine. I'm specifically Batman, but yeah, he got in touch and asked if we wanted to do it, and we've been doing it for quite a while, just getting together every now and again and doing a batch of the DC animated movies. So yeah, just last weekend we did, well, the movies that you, as you said, you saw me rate on Letterboxd. We covered those 4 movies. So if you want to check that out, then go over to the Lawn Gnome. It'll be on there. I will do a commentary with Cody and Willie Screedier. Yes. Yes. Willie Screedier. Tony, methinks you'll be pleasantly surprised with the future. Yes. Something's coming. Something is coming. So there you go. What he said. Willie Screedier, you misspelled CP, by the way. Brian's got coke nose. Oh, is that because I'm doing that? Yeah. What can I say? When you gotta go, you gotta go. Oh, balls. I hate it when he does that. Where's it gone? Gus McKenzie, when are you planning to do a re-review of Halloween 2018? On your 31 on 31 ranking, it ranked pretty high. I don't. My 31 on 31 ranking was pretty much set in stone. I'm not saying I don't change my mind on second watches and things, but I was pretty solid on my ranking with that one. I'm not the kind of person who, kind of. My thoughts were solid, so we'll leave it at that. Zach Araya, James Toback. Okay. CP, man, I paid to wait for all these riff-raff comments roll on. Wake me in September. Tony, hey man, I love Sausage Party. I hate it. What can I tell you? Absolutely despise it. Dead Gamers 773, can we get a weekly Movies That Move Me podcast stream with CP and Cody? Something is coming. Something is coming. Be patient, but something is coming. Tony, but the film I despise the most and hate is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. For me, it is my number 1 for worst remake ever made. It's not my favourite film, but I wouldn't say it was my worst remake ever made. I think it added a few things that I enjoyed. I liked the stuff with his father and getting Christopher Lee in to play the dad. I liked it. I'm not in any rush to revisit it, but yeah, worst remake ever made, really? Whew. That Black Christmas remake, man, serious. Definitely a contender. Shenlock Bracas. I probably butchered that name, mate. On a scale of 1 to broke the scale, how much do you hate the Texas Chainsaw franchise? I would say I don't know. Given the fact that I think my average rating when you take all the ratings I gave each film and then average it out across 8 films, I think it came to probably around the 2 out of 5 mark. So with that logic, I guess I would have to say a 4 out of 10. 3.5, 4 out of 10 on the, yeah. Although you didn't give me that as an option, did you? You didn't give me 10 as an option. So yeah, with that scale, broke the scale, definitely. The Film Addict, favourite Michael Keaton movie besides Beetlejuice and Batman? Ooh. Well, I would say Out of Sight, but he only has a cameo in that, so we won't go with that. He does play the same character he played in Jackie Brown, which would be a contender. Jackie Brown would certainly be a contender. Pacific Heights, I really love as well. Birdman, I thought was incredible. I haven't gone back and watched that. I've only seen that once. I gave it 5 stars when it came out. It is an incredible film, but bizarrely I've not gone back and revisited it. But yeah, Birdman, I guess. Yeah, Birdman, Jackie Brown, Out of Sight, Pacific Heights. I love all of those. So I saw there was a film that I loved when I saw it way back. I think I was probably about 10 years old. It was called Gung Ho. I believe Ron Howard directed it. It's not been released on DVD in the UK, as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's not been. Certainly not on Blu-ray. But I remember really liking that as a kid, and I don't know, it could be one of those films that if I saw it now, it may not have aged well. But Ron Howard's usually pretty reliable, so I don't know. It is a film I would like to see again. Low Carb Monster, I agree, man. The Dark Knight was a phenomenal experience in theatres, definitely. Blake G, Brother Lomax, indeed. Low Carb Monster, you did it, lol. What did I do? Oh, right. Am I? How far down does this go? Am I like seriously far behind? I'm guessing I probably am. Cody Leach, where's my wrench, bitch? You can have one right here, mate. Although there doesn't seem to be a right lot of moderating that needs doing right now. So there you go. Moderate this. Cody, this is your warning. I'll put you on a timeout. Jason, good. Mask of the Phantasm, yes, heck yes. Mask of the Phantasm is awesome. Gus McKenzie, what's the deal with the breakup between you, Cody, CP, and Lee? I'm not going into it, mate. Seriously. 4 people, and it's not just us 4, okay? Don't forget that Lindsay is included in that. Mother Mayhem. See, this is the thing. Like when people see this breakup and they think it's just this thing that's come out of the blue, that's just like for no reason. I know that Cody in particular is getting a lot of crap sent his way. That's because he's the bigger profile out of a lot of us. So obviously people are going to know him more. I can probably kind of get under the radar a bit more. CP gets a lot of flack thrown at him just because he's CP and he's generally known as a bit of an arsey guy. But at the end of the day, this stuff has been going, it dates back, okay? It dates back. And you don't know what it is. I'm not going to go into it because this isn't the place. But all I can say is, four of us are having to move on, okay? 4 of us are having to move on, but we're going to move on together. There's a reason for that. You can either trust that there's a reason for that, or not. I don't care. I don't wish any ill will towards Lee. I don't want anybody to go up and comment nasty things to Lee, because again, it's none of your business. It doesn't concern you. It concerns us five, the five people that were involved. We've dealt with it. It's been put to bed. Let's leave it at that and move on. That's all I've got to say on the matter. So, there we go. Where are we? Thoughts on the Warriors 1979. Also, which scene is your favourite of the Baseball Fury scene? I've not actually seen the Warriors. I've got it on DVD. I've had it for some time, but it's just one of them ones I've never gotten around to watching it. But I do have it, so yeah, sometime I will watch it. Cody Leach, Gus, all that needs to be said has been said. Sorry for the lack of closure for everyone that watches us, but nothing good will come from disclosing details at this point. Yeah, what Cody said, basically. Tony, will you be perfectly fine if me doesn't go back to Marvel? If he doesn't go back to Marvel Studios? Oh, yes, Spider-Man. Sorry. Yeah, he's asking me if I'll be fine with Spider-Man going back to Sony. I welcome it. I welcome Spider-Man going back to Sony. And that's not because I dislike Disney. It's not because I dislike Marvel. I love the MCU. I don't want all of the films that we watch at the multiplex to be owned by one company. I don't want to know that my Friday night viewing is going to be the agenda of one company. And I don't mean that they've got an agenda in all the films, but whichever way you cut it, all companies do. They have their own views that they put out in their products, and I don't want to be saturated with just what Disney deems we should watch. So I'm fine with a Spider-Man at Sony, quite frankly. The competition is great. It breeds better films, ultimately. I know not always. That's not a hard and fast rule, but yeah, I'm fine with it. I like it. It's a good decision. And quite frankly, Marvel Disney, I should say. Disney were being, greedy, to say the least. Okay. Cody Leach, I am also with Wrench. You are indeed. Low Carb Monster, lol. Where are we? Where are we? Sorry, guys. I've zoomed past. Oh, there we go. Right. Putting Bryan in timeout for that Psycho remake choice. Do what you wish, man. Gus McKenzie. All right. I forgot that Lindsay was involved. My bad. Low Carb Monster. Put Bryan in timeout for not liking the TCM remake, Cody. Bryan, you jerk. I paid for Wrench. Well, actually, you paid for asking where the wrench is. I didn't think it was. If you pay me again, then I will take away Cody's wrench if you really want. Sorry, Cody. I won't really, by the way. That's just a joke. So, also, my wrench is prettier. It is indeed. Thanks for saying that, Bryan. It's none of our business, and we all should leave it at that. Hopefully that message reaches Scotland soon. Ouch, indeed. When is the bread coming off? I'm going to assume you mean when is the beard coming off, and providing I don't have any casting gigs in which they require me to shave it off, it ain't. It's here to stay. I like it, despite CP's begrudging comments from time to time of it. But no, it's staying. Yeah. Blake G. Wow, can't type today. Cody. Beard. Yeah, Beard. Yeah, I got that. Darkness Demons 8. If you were to make a movie, what would be the first type of movie you'd make? It would be a horror movie. I've already written one. I've not done anything with that as of yet because it does need a bit of a rewrite. It does need a bit of a. There's a little problem in the script that needs fixing, and I'm currently writing another with a friend of mine. With 38 pages in, with another 10 or 15 that are kind of rough, and we kind of know where we're going with it. So yeah, that's a vampire script, and we're working on that. So yeah, given that the two scripts that I've kind of written so far do seem to be horror, it looks like that would probably be the film that I would do first if I was to make one. I have made a few shorts, some dramas. Some of them are on my channel. I made them way back in the early 2000s. Yeah, they were made on mini DV. If I made them again now with the knowledge I have now and the skills I have now, they'd be a lot better. But they are what they are. So yeah, horror, I guess, but drama as well. Drama would be. I think with drama, you don't have to concern yourself as much with a lot of effects stuff and things like that. You can just concentrate as a director on just trying to get the best performances out of the actors and telling a good story. So yeah, there you go. Dead Games 773. I have my own wrench. Fake wrench. Cody Leach. It's grown an inch since the stream started. Have you, Blake? Have you ever visited the US, Brian? I've not, and I'd really like to. I've been to Japan. I've been to Zambia. I've been to Munich, Germany. And that's it. I passed through France. I did not enjoy the experience, but that's about it, really. I would like to go to America, as it happens, and given that most of the friends I've made on YouTube live either in Canada or America, the Americas, it would be nice to do some kind of road trip across America, visiting all these friends along the way. That is something that I have thought considerably about, actually. And if the day ever comes where I'm financially in a position to do it, then I will. Favorite Joaquin Phoenix movie? Also, he was a great rapper. That's from the Film Addict. Favorite Joaquin Phoenix movie? I think I have to go with Gladiator right now. I don't know that that's my favorite performance of his, but it's certainly my favorite movie with him in. It is a great performance. Her was really good. Ooh. Yeah, I still need to see. What was that called? I forget the name of it. It was a woman who directed it. It was either last year or the year before, but yeah, it's gone. But yeah, Gladiator is probably my favourite film with him in. But his performance in Her was really good as well. So yeah. Cody Leach, my wrench goes, my subs go. Shall we begin? in my Cumberbatch voice. Indeed. What's up, Brian? Keep that beard around. Thank you, Power Up Productions. Fear the beard, says Low Carb Monster. Film addict, fan of Bill Burr or George Carlin? I don't really watch a lot of stand-up, to be honest. If I do, it's because something has popped up in my YouTube feed for some bizarre reason. And if the title is enticing, I might click on it and I end up catching some stand-up comedians. I have no idea who they are and things like that. But yeah, I don't tend to watch that many. So I went through a phase of watching quite a bit of Michael McIntyre stand-up. That's British, not American. So yeah, no is the answer to that one. CP, I have 2 versions of you in cartoon being made due to that dumb face mullet. You love it. You love my face mullet. You're just jealous because you can't grow facial hair, CP. That's the truth of it. CP, when we agree with Brian, where's that gone? I've lost it. Stupid thing. Can I just scroll down with the arrow key? I can. Okay, we'll do it that way. Come back up. CP, when we agree with Brian, we English? We use the shaved Brian. When he's speaking nonsense, he gets the beard. Okay. Apparently, my beard has caused me to speak nonsense in recent times. Bearded Brian is going to be a running gag. I'm sure it is. But it ain't going. Can I hear my child crying? No. Okay, where are we? Tony, I know this isn't none of my business, but will you and the gang ever be back together? I've already answered that question. Some of us will. Dennis from the blue corner says, next he'll shave his head and you'll have to make a third CP. Yep. I'm going to wait, actually, until he's done those cartoons, and then I will shave my head. Low Carb Monster, Brian, do you watch Kung Fu flicks? Depends what kind of Kung Flu. Depends what type of Kung Fu flicks. Bloody hell, it's getting late. I like the kind like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Hero, House of Flying Daggers, those kind of movies. I've never really been into the whole Bruce Lee kind of stuff. Not that I've seen a great deal of them, but seen a few Jackie Chans. They were pretty entertaining. Police Story and all that lot. So yeah, I'll watch them. I've enjoyed quite a few of them. CP. Okay, I got to pick up my food. Congrats, Brian. Thanks for the wrench. Talk soon. No worries, mate. Thank you for being a friend. And you can have a wrench anytime, and you don't have to pay for it. Low Carb Monster, later CP. Finally caught up live, Brian. Caught you live, Brian. Yep, sorry. How about The Master? The Master is a great performance by, yes, I can't believe I didn't think of that. Cannot believe it. That would absolutely take the #1 spot. Definitely. It's not my favourite Paul Thomas Anderson film, but I can understand why people love it so much. It is a great film. I did buy it. The cinematography in it is absolutely blinding. And that performance, both of them. I mean, Philip Seymour Hoffman is my favourite actor of all time. So I'm always going to watch something that he's in. But yeah, performances on that film were just incredible. Okay. Can't believe I didn't think of that one. What are your thoughts on X-Men Dark Phoenix? I remember quite liking it, and I saw you gave it a good score on Letterboxd. That was Gus McKenzie. Did I not review it? I didn't. I mustn't have reviewed it. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I didn't get the hate at all. I really didn't get the hate for it. I enjoyed it. It does a few things we've seen before, not helped by the fact that it's the second adaptation of the Phoenix saga. But no, I liked it. I came out of it thinking, great, solid X-Men. It was certainly better than Apocalypse. Blimey. Apocalypse had a really great first half and just soiled the bed in the second half. So, no, this one, I didn't get the hate. I really didn't. I liked it. So, what can I say? Tony, I just went to Japan last week. It's a great country. I love it. It feels very Western, but without the rudeness and in-your-faceness of Western culture. Very polite people. Certainly when I was there anyway. When I went to Japan, I had the best customer service I've ever had in a McDonald's, for crying out loud. They're a good people. Zachary Haith, congrats on 3K, by the way. Thank you, mate. Cody, especially since I've gone the beard route, I think CP might be feeling left out. Yes, I think that is true. I think he has beard envy. Hashtag beard envy. The film fan addict, I should say. Thoughts on Robert Pattinson playing Batman? Also, what do you want to see in the Batman movie? My thoughts are that Robert Pattinson is a good actor. Is Twilight good? No, Twilight's terrible. Is his performance in Twilight bad? Yes, it is. Because he's not given a right lot to work with other than a load of Basil exposition. What about the other films he's done? What about loads of other films he's done in which he's given really good performances? Why don't we look at them? So, yeah, I got no problem with Robert Pattinson being Batman. Let's see what movie we get before we start passing judgment. It's from the guy who did Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, for crying out loud. That film was a beast. It was awesome. So, yeah, I'm excited. What do I want to see from it? I want to see the villains done well. I don't care if some of the villains only get small roles, because Scarecrow only had a small bit to play really in Batman Begins, or even his cameo in The Dark Knight. But he was used well. Just use him well, I would absolutely love to see Bane return. I would love to see Dave Bautista playing Bane, and I would love him to be a bit more faithful to the comics, so that the Venom feed and all that lot. I love Tom Hardy's Bane. Absolutely loved him. Had no problem. But I'd be happy to see something that was, a bit like if Zack Snyder did a Batman film, I would love to see his version of Bane. I would absolutely love to see Zack Snyder's version of Bane, because he's so faithful in the way he tries to visualize these characters and do them the way they look in the comic books. So yeah, that's what I want. I know I've sidetracked a bit there. We're not going to get that, but yeah. Where are we? Dennis from the Blue Corn. I wonder what Peter thinks of this. It's gimmick infringement. It would be if I was calling my channel Bearded Movie Talk, but it's not. So it's not. Have you seen Shadow yet? No, I've not. I haven't. I miss Philip Seymour Hoffman. That's Joshua Williams. What a talent. Absolutely, mate. Every time I watch one of his performances, I miss him. I'm just like, oh. I have no doubt he would have gone on to win more Oscars throughout his career if he'd have been around with us. Because he was just, yeah, he was just immense. He could do anything, absolutely anything. When you look at his range across the board, he can go from the most pathetic guy in the room to the most fearsome guy in the room, and it's just, and everything in between. So yeah, absolutely stunning actor. Oh, where have I gone? Where's that gone? Cody, thoughts on Disney pulling the plug on the rest of Ridley's Alien prequels? Yeah. So at this point, I have to say, screw Disney. Couldn't have just got one more? Seriously? Let's wrap up David's story. Thanks for that, Disney. You suck. Moving on. Deshaun Riley, sorry I haven't been commenting, Brian, at work. Who's the next slasher icon you want to see have a new movie next? Norman Bates. Norman Bates. He's my favourite. He's the most complex. He's got a lot of different things going on. He's not just guy in a mask. Hey, there's a lot of psychology there. A lot of stuff you can play with. You could go really at the TV series. I've seen the first 3 seasons. I still need to watch the other 2. So I don't know how that ends. But if it ends in a way where it's kind of like left open for the possibility of what is, what we know to be the Psycho movie in the future, then I say bring him in, do a film, do a new Psycho film, start the series again, remake, as you say, with Freddie Highmore and the setting from the series. I'd so be up for that. But like I say, I don't know how the series ended, so yeah. Where are we? Yes, Zach, they yanked the 200 movies that were in various stages of development. Really annoys me. That's all right. The prequels sucked anyway. Zachary, get off my channel. Go. Just go. I'm just joking, mate, but seriously, get off my channel. No, I loved Covenant. Absolutely loved Covenant. And I really loved Prometheus as well. David is such a great character. Such a great character. And they've just spat in my face with that one. Really have. Brace. No Die Hard sequel either. Oh, yeah. Man alive. So forgot how many franchises they now have. Lethal Weapon as well. Die Hard, Lethal Weapon. Oh. See, this is what I was saying. This is why I do not mind Sony having Spider-Man. One company should not own this many properties. They shouldn't. Literally, every bit of your hard-earned cash that you pay for a cinema ticket at some point is just going to end up going to Disney. How much power are they going to have? Seriously. It scares me. It really does. It scares me. Genuinely. Thank God that prequel-sequel idea was trash. I will agree with that, though, actually, with Cody. The prequel idea for Die Hard, no, just no. Gus McKenzie, who's your favourite composer? Mine's Hans Zimmer. Funnily enough, Mine also is Hans Zimmer. My favourite score of his is the Man of Steel soundtrack, but obviously he's done so many great scores: Dark Knight, Gladiator, Black Hawk Down. Yeah, just the list goes on. I bought the concert thing that he did on DVD, well, on Blu-ray, I should say, and phenomenal. I'd love to go and see him live. I wish I could have seen that concert live, but yeah, Hans Zimmer, my favourite, definitely. Where are we? Oh, crap! Where are we going? Where am I? I'm on. I really want to see Pattinson in Lighthouse. Yep, I'd like to see that film. Dennis, I'm more mad that they want to reboot Die Hard, so no more Willis. Yeah, that sucks. Cody, Brian, every time I hear you gush about Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, I start to forgive you for Seed of Chucky. And so you should. Tony, does it make you nervous what Disney is going to do with the Fox properties like Alien and Predator, and do you think it will mean a terrible idea if they make them PG-13? Oh, just you saying that makes me cringe. Mm, yeah, yeah. An Alien movie PG-13. We've seen how that worked already. Alien v Predator. Yeah, don't go there, seriously. Um, He was so hilarious in The Big Lebowski. I loved his character. Yes, yes, he was. I'm assuming you're talking about Philip Seymour Hoffman. Yeah, he was. But he will always be Dusty the Storm Chaser for me from Twister. Yeah, the only good thing about that movie, to be honest. Cody, are people ever going to give up hope for the Snyder Cut of Justice League? Is there any chance Warner Brothers will ever pay to have it finished with the fan outcry? I don't know. I really don't. I hope so. I hope so. Um, yeah, it's not like it's all quiet on the Western Front. You know what I mean? It's you got people like um, Momoa really batting for Snyder and really kind of fighting in his corner. And I don't know. Things like that happen when he speaks out about it, and it always gives me a sense of hope that it might. But I think it depends on new execs coming in and thinking, you know what, let's capitalize on this. People want it. Let's give it them. If it's the old executives, they're not going to do it just because they want to save face. If they're the ones who made the decisions way back when, they're not going to want to show the world that there was indeed a better film available, like they did with Batman v Superman. They made that mistake once. So do they want to make it again? I don't know. I mean, to the best of my knowledge, the execs that were around all that aren't even there anymore. So I don't know. I really don't know. I want to see it. That's all I can say. Uh, Shadow is from Zhang Yimou, the Hero director. Good movie. Nowhere near as colourful as Hero, though. Almost black and white. Yes, I saw the trailer for it, and it got me excited. I did post the trailer, actually, on Facebook. I think I said it was one of my most anticipated now for this year, but we've not had it over here yet, as far as I'm aware. And if we have, it's certainly gone under the radar. It's certainly not appeared in any of my local cinemas. But definitely I want to watch it because Zhang Yimou is one of my favourite directors. So Blake, oh Lord, the last season of Bates Motel is brutal. Do you mean brutal as in brutally bad, or brutal as in some of the stuff that they do in it? Don't ruin it for me. Low Carb Monster. I still have the last season of Bates Motel to watch. Yeah, me too, mate. The last two for me. Where are we? Where? Oh yes, Dennis, you're right. Lethal Weapon is Warner. I got confused because of because I remember that Lethal Weapon. What was it? I believe there's something to do with Die Hard and Lethal Weapon, and the title of one of them was originally the title for the other, and when it wasn't used, they then used it for that. I don't know. I think also a similar producer, the same producer, I should say. Can't remember his name. Silver? Is it Joel Silver? I don't know. There's some connection between those two films anyway that I always but at least they don't own Lethal Weapon, so that's good. Where are we? Do you think we will ever get the Snyder Cut with Justice League? That's been asked already. I answered that. Have you seen the From Dusk Till Dawn TV series? I've not, mate. By the time he catches up with some of my comments, they're going to make no sense. Oh, sorry, Blake. Am I that far behind? Seriously. I'm so slow with these things. It's because I rant. I go on rants. Yes, love Man of Steel. It's an amazing soundtrack, mate. Do you think Henry Cavill will be back as Superman? Well, he did pop up at the end of Shazam, so that gives me hope. Cody, do you really think Disney is that stuck in their ways that they won't make a branch of R-rated material? I don't know. Really don't know. They're about money. They know what sells. Here's the thing. I think Disney could. I think they could make an Alien movie that is PG-13 and make it work. I do. That's the problem. I think they could make it work, and I think people would lap it up. They would absolutely love it. And all those people that do lap it up and would absolutely love it would be people who aren't the die-hard fans of the original Alien movies. There would be people who love the MCU, people who don't like other comic book movies because they're not the MCU. There'd be those kind of people who literally would lap up the humour, lap up that kind of style. And yeah, it would. It would literally be that blueprint, the MCU blueprint, but transposed into the Alien world. And people like you and me would hate it because we go way back to the original movies. But all the newbies, all the new people coming up, the kids, the teenagers who haven't seen those original films, don't care about those original films, find them too dark, would absolutely love it. And those numbers would do well at the cinema. And that, at the end of the day, is all they care about. Money, money, money. And I think they genuinely would make money from doing it that way. And I think they would do it well. That's the thing. If I could separate myself from those original movies, I think I would like them. But it's not what I want. So that's my fear. Could they move off and do an R-rated material branch? Yeah, they could. Will they? I don't know. I think they're too successful at what they do at the moment. But I'm not confident, put it that way. Where are we? R-rated material still makes money, so surely they wouldn't be that closed-minded. It does still make money, but not anywhere near as much as PG-13 money. So that would be the ultimate cock block to have that much power and shun R-rated films. It absolutely would. Bearded Lomax Movie Talk, there's a new name, that's it. I should get Peter on a stream with me actually now, and we could just call it Bearded Movie Talk. Maybe Disney could make Predator franchise better because the franchise has not been good since the first film. I disagree with that, to be honest, Brandon. I liked Predators. I thought it was good. Get Shadow from USA. It's region free. Okay, thank you for that. I will. Film Addict, I just realised if they ever make a Punisher movie, it might be PG-13 because of Disney. Yep, indeed. I think they'll probably just stay away from it, to be honest. Blake, brutal as in it's emotional, I mean. It's heavy. Oh, good. That's good. That's reassuring. Cody, I'm assuming he means brutal material. Yep. Blake, without spoiling anything, it's fantastic, though. Zachary, who doesn't like the original Alien? Kill him. Yeah, there are some people, mate. I've spoken to these people. People who think it's slow and boring, nothing happens, and then they think that Alien v Predator is like the best thing ever. Whatever. Okay. Brandon Sparks, a PG-13 Punisher movie would be terrible. Yes, it would. There doesn't seem to be any more comments there, so I'm going to assume that is that. Favorite sci-fi movie from Brandon. I'll let this be the last one, and then I will head off to bed because it's getting to be stupid o'clock. My favorite sci-fi movie. It's a toss-up between Interstellar, Blade Runner 2049, which are hard sci-fi. They're what I would categorise as hard sci-fi, or soft sci-fi, The Truman Show. If I was called on it, The Truman Show would probably be my favourite from those three, I think. That's if I was called on it right now. But Truman Show is kind of more like your soft sci-fi kind of thing. Hard sci-fi, yeah. Interstellar and Blade Runner 2049. Inception coming up pretty close in the rear as well. So, but Terminator 2 and Terminator, they're pretty close up there as well. So, yeah, there you go. That's it. So I'm going to call it quits there, guys, just because it is getting late. Thank you to everyone who's joined me in the chat. Thanks, Cody, for doing a bit of wrench work. I don't think you had to do much really there. Thanks, CP, as well, for pointing my attention to it. I will know about that in the future. But yeah, thanks for joining me. I look forward to doing another one of these when I hit 3,500. Yes, Blake, Truman Show is great. And so is Eternal Sunshine, another great science fiction film. Sorry, I can't help myself. I'm going to stop looking at the comments. Yeah, thanks for joining me on this one. Hope to see you again in my regular videos and in the next stream. Look out for the future of streaming with me, CP, Cody, and hopefully Lindsay. Something will be coming. Have patience. We love you. We hope you love us. And that is that. Thank you again. Have a good night. And that's it.